Ooh, here we go. It is Scurryface time.
That's what it is.
What's up, fam?
That's what it do.
That's what it is.
What it do?
What it do?
Living Dreds, of course. I am Kmart Bob Zombie. How about that? I combined the two.
See?
Kmart Bob Zombie to kind
Without
of
the A.
Without the A. Want to thank everybody for being here, and of course you can watch this stream over there, Scurryface on Facebook, Psycho Bunny Death Cult on Facebook, and Jackal Monkey has made his way in.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
What it do?
Shit.
And we also we have a really special guest. We're going to talk some paranormal tonight, and as I just see in the backstage, we have our guest. And I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Taryn
Kerper.
Okay. Taryn Kerper. All right, let's bring her in. No, look, she's getting. I caught her off guard. Look at that. She's trying to get things. Everybody's rushing around. How are you, Taryn?
Good. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great.
I'm out of breath.
You are. You know, I figured, during these shows we usually do what we call fluffer articles, and that's just to get the blood flowing. You know what I'm saying? And get things going. And get something going. We don't, and they're normally not even, pertaining to any type of, our subject matter and whatnot. But that's what we have in store for you. Normally it is Floridians. They are wacky people down there in Florida. But no, these two articles actually don't even come from Florida. Sorry for the disappointment.
What?
I know. While we're waiting for people to join in over here at Scurryface on Facebook, as well as Psycho Bunny Death Cult, you can also check out, if you are a patient over there at the Insane Asylum, Night of Living Dreds on Facebook. That group, we're also over there as well. Let's start out with Tom and Dom. Why don't you give us some shout outs, and then we'll work our way around the table, ending up with our guest, Taryn.
I'll leave BB3 for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In that
so,
nice.
Yeah, because I'm a nice guy like that. So first off, tonight at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Psycho Bunny Death Cult, Psycho Bunny DC, Psychomantium 13, Roots Bleed Red, PBDC TV, and I think it might actually be on BB3 TV tonight as well. You can watch Tom's World, where I'll show my latest video. And actually, it's going to be a nice surprise because my son is supposed to be joining us. So it'll be the first time that a lot of people are getting to meet him. He's an awesome dude because, well, he looks like me, so he's cool. And you can also
you got nothing. You heard crickets right there, right?
Yeah, I didn't have that ready, so I'm not gonna do it. Plus, it's on me, so I'm not gonna. I don't ever do the soundboard against me,
right? I mean,
just other people. But you can also catch me and Dom on all the same channels. Fridays, 8:30 p.m. Central, yeah, Eastern Time. I moved apparently in that little couple seconds.
You know where you're at.
And we were on last night. We had a great show. We had a couple guys from BB3 TV on there, and they were awesome.
Natalie.
And so now you can talk about BB3.
There you go.
I kind of want to give this over to Taryn with the whole BB3 thing, and what I first want to say is you could find this on all the platforms what Tom just said, for sure, Dom and Tom's World and all the above. But I am very proud of our hosts that are coming over to BB3. Taryn has been a powerhouse.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and off the cuff as well. What a bunch of great group of individuals, and I'm proud to work with them. As we push out, Psycho Bunny and stuff like that. All the people that we actually love, it just feels like one big family. And Scurryface and all the above. I love it. I don't really have nothing to push out. Just go like, share, follow everybody.
Should we be singing Kumbaya right now?
I know,
my Lord.
All right.
Campfire and shit. But Taryn, wrap it out, my friend.
Go ahead. Throw your show out there real quick. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I do a weekly show Wednesdays called Paranormal Brew, and it's everything and anything we talk, and mostly it's paranormal stuff. It can range anything from ghosts and Bigfoots and UFOs and Men in Black and everything. It doesn't matter. Jason, whatever, you know. So
I always pose that question: is it Bigfoots or big feet? Because Bigfoots just doesn't sound grammatically correct.
I say Bigfoots even when it's singular. I don't even care. So that's what I call them.
Right.
Yeah, so it's Wednesdays, 7:30 Eastern time. I've been getting a lot of requests for people to come on, so I've been having to go on doing 2 shows a week lately. But it's awesome. I mean, I have all kinds of people come on.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And it is a fun show. I was in I think one of the last shows that you did, and then we chatted later on that evening. It's a good time. We suggested here Paranormal Brew, and we're gonna get back to you in 1 second, Taryn. Jackal Monkey, what is going on with the mask thing there? What is that?
Yeah, I just figured I'd try to show him my ugly mug, so slap this on until I get my new face sculpted.
No, okay, all right,
Looks like Bane, or what the hell was that guy on the Batman? Like, oh, Batman, how are you?
Oh no, you're talking about
I know who that is.
Oh, we know who that is.
It's like, why the fuck does it sound like
What's up,
Sean
little bit?
Connery?
What's up, little bit? Facebook music. Get
Little
your
bit,
name
little
right.
bit.
We like to see your name. Little bit. Let's do it.
Where can everybody get a badass mask, which you do have sitting up there right behind you? Other shoulder. There you go.
Yeah. Bam. Don's got one too. Yeah, hit me up. Facebook, Nightmare Ninja Studios, and we'll make your nightmares become a reality.
And it's, you know what? I'll speak for that one real quick.
cool.
I own one. It's at the other studio. It's on point. He took his time out. I wanted a custom one just for me, and he took his time out to make it. And I couldn't be more proud of the product of what I received.
Hell yeah.
For
Hell
sure.
yeah. Appreciate it, brother.
Indeed. You know that.
Hell yeah.
Then of course we have what is your name today? Don the Iceman Black Unright.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Slatter Jesus. All right.
All right, where can people find Black Unright as well as Chiller? You guys are you're pretty familiar with Chiller, I hear.
Oh yeah. He puts me in oil.
He does.
Sometimes. Sometimes he does. Sometimes I can't help it. But, I'm down the well here.
Hey, what's up?
Yep.
You got a lot
out
of.
every now and then.
Look at all these people showing up, man. That's what I like. I like to see all that.
Kumbaya. All right. Yeah, it's great. All right, here we go. We're going to jump into some of these fluffer articles. We have 2 of them this evening, and we are going to fluff, and then we're going to dive feet first into some paranormal. A teacher in Olympia, Washington, was on crystal meth, strips naked in her class, and bites 2 students.
Christ.
Wow.
So this was in Florida?
No, this is in Washington, all on the other side of the
Shockingly.
right.
Boy, I bet you the students were throwing lunch money at the teachers.
Well, probably not the ones that got bit. An elementary school teacher was arrested after a drug bad trip caused her to strip naked in class, physically assault her 4th grade students, severely biting 2 of them, and injuring 6 others. All right.
Durka.
According to
Durka.
according to Olympia Police Department, 37-year-old Laura J. Teacher. Is that really her last name?
J, like J-A-Y? Or is her
Yeah.
Laura J. Teacher?
Her profession was
swear.
decided for her from birth.
On crystal meth.
I'm hot for
strips
teacher.
Unbelievable. We'll start with our guest, Taryn. What do you think about that? 4th grade class, and you start doing some crystal meth there, and let's take a break from the ABCs. Let's do some math.
No dare program needed, Taryn. What the
Right. That's kind of a weird, curriculum, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. First of all, I don't have kids, so I don't know how it would react as a mother. I would probably be in jail with her.
Yeah.
If she did that. But however, is she at least hot? Like, was it worth it?
No, not in the mugshot picture I'm seeing. Maybe if she did herself up, who knows? But the mugshot I'm seeing, it kind of has a Tammy Faye Baker look. The mascara is running. Yeah, it's not a good pick. She didn't take a good one that day.
None of the students. There's no pics out there on social media, you know, because now fourth graders, they have phones and you know what I mean. Everybody's videoing and everything.
So
Exactly.
I bit Johnny. Damn it.
God damn.
Oh my goodness! But this does sound like something you wacky Floridians would do down there, Dom.
Oh,
I know you're mainly a Jersey boy, but you are down there, and
I can't even explain half the shit that happens here.
She bought that off the guy that had the meth lab in his pants. Is what happened. The guy from last week.
Was she the teacher for the Van Halen video?
No, she was not that hot.
Well, she's probably not that hot anymore. It's been a while. That was back in the 80s. So
this one?
The one from Hot for
Okay.
Teacher. That's
Jesus.
Maybe
I
she's
don't think I dug too deep there.
I gotta pay more attention to the screen. I saw a face changes now with Jacko.
Wow.
Damn, like there's a slideshow happening.
I didn't even realize that either.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
I know.
I gotta go get some Tito's.
Cheetos.
Oh,
so she's gonna drink some
flaming
vodka.
hot Tito's.
No, she's got that vodka or whatever it is. Cheers to that.
Oh,
Man.
Cheetos. I thought you said Cheetos. I'm like, okay.
Tito's.
No.
That's okay. I got you.
Aaron, cheers. BB3.
Cheers.
Clinky.
All right, let's get into the other one, and both of these. I do have a picture that we can. As I'm going through this, I'm gonna try and get this picture up so everybody can see. An inmate, and this was in Missouri. She hid a gun in her vagina, and for like 17 days in jail.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
17 days.
You'd think there'd be some kind of metal poisoning happening or something.
Lead poisoning or something.
It was loaded.
Going on.
It was loaded.
It was loaded apparently in a plastic bag.
Boy, do I have some fucked up jokes.
A loaded fish.
I know.
Wow.
Holy Christ!
You can't make this shit up, folks. You can't.
You really can't.
Darren, my apologies. I had no idea where this was going.
Please.
I'm fucking with you. 17. Did you say 17 days?
Yeah, the weapon only found 17 days after Missouri woman was locked up. She was sentenced to 10 years after pleading guilty to smuggling a loaded gun that was hidden in her vagina into a county jail.
There was no cavity check then, right? Apparently.
Well, no, here's the thing. They did a strip search. They patted her down, but apparently no cavity search.
How big was this perimeter where a fucking loaded gun?
There she is.
All right.
Okay.
She looks a lot like people
a
I know.
revolver up there and not get caught? I mean, there's no handle sticking out.
Don't they have like metal detector? Wouldn't a metal detector pick that up?
You would think.
Yes, you would think. Now I'm going to show you the picture of the actual gun.
I want to know what she worked as before to get it limbered up enough to stick a gun of what's so said caliber in
22.
Wow.
Don, you have no idea the thought process goes through, right? It's just not. It's not.
It was a 22, and I'm going to show you guys a pic. This is the actual gun right there. Little tiny thing.
Oh, okay. A baby one. Come on.
That's so damn
That
cute.
looks like one of those.
That's a fucking play toy.
That looks like one of those ones they used to.
Gun.
Baby guns and
like
shit.
One of those ones they used to have in the westerns, like the guy just had it hidden in his sleeve or something. What the hell were they called?
Oh yeah.
Might as well just do this. Like, pow. That's the stuff.
It was like smaller than a boot pistol. That's smaller than a boot pistol.
Exactly.
It looked rusted on the side.
I was going to say the only thing that comes to my mind when I read this was the line in Devil's Rejects. You know, I hope your wife's cookies stink, don't rust the barrel.
Oh shit!
Just throwing it up.
Dan.
So wait, he had to use the restroom though for 17 days. Like what was
Well,
happening?
pee doesn't come out of there.
God.
What? Wait, am I learning something right now?
Yeah, you kind of are.
You do not piss out of your ass, bro.
They have
No.
2 holes down there, buddy.
They have a pee hole
yeah,
and they
no,
have
no,
a fun hole.
All right, yeah, I get it.
So
I
they have
get it.
3. We only get
I
2.
I get it now. All
Well,
right,
freak out
don't call me a
your
big ass stupid ass. I'm picturing a fucking revolver up there, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? All right. Poor thing, Jesus. and shit. Amy.
That's a 17 days of something like that up there. I mean, she had to start getting like some sort of an infection, and the
would
stench probably
think.
was horrible.
You
That helped her
you
out in
would think.
jail. Nobody wanted to be with her, so you know.
God damn!
What a confusing story.
Mackerel coming from?
It apparently was fully loaded with 5 rounds.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
damn.
if the guard come
Right?
into it to like,
Boom!
Oh, that was great.
God damn!
That was
She's a real
great.
firecracker, I bet.
She is a pistol. That one, I tell you.
I see what you did there, man.
Oh, shit.
Oh my lord! All
There
right,
it
well
goes.
let's start talking. Let's start talking. Some
Fucking leg up.
Mary
Why does
Jane
my
Rotten
head
Crotch.
hurt? It feels like it's been pistol whipped.
could you imagine if somebody did try to like seriously have sex with her and they hit the gut like and it went
They
off?
done pulled the trigger.
You would hope it was pointing out.
Well,
Instead
you
of
know, I
in.
was thinking that same thing. I mean, how did she load that? Like barrel first or handle first? What would be the
Right.
easiest method there? I
Oh
guess-
I mean, you
shit!
have to account for twitches, like muscle twitches and stuff. You know, I mean,
I don't know what the standards are here, but the ABDC, you know, that one that may be a G, you done found the spot, like pop, trigger pulled on that one. You get what I'm saying? No foreplay.
Trigger warning.
Yep, trigger.
Oh, shit.
warning.
Oh yeah, we had no parental advisory on this one, did we?
Oh yeah, you didn't
no.
do that.
Time for
I
parental
know.
advisory.
You better put that up
Well, I guess
Jesus
maybe we
Christ.
should do that.
Yeah.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
They
A
lose.
little
They
late,
lose.
but better
Oh, yeah.
late than never, I guess. Right?
Right?
Farmer
It
said
all
he's
depends on the
out here.
subject.
Yep. So anyway, I got to get off that subject because I'm not really
Yes.
sure of where that
You
was.
gotta get off.
All right, let's dive into some paranormal talk. Let's get Taryn on here. Taryn, Taryn, how would you actually pronounce it? It's Taryn.
Yeah.
Taryn. Okay. I guess it just depends on where you're geographically located.
That's true.
But let's get into it. You've had Paranormal Brew for what about 4 years now, right?
Mhm. Yeah, 2017.
How did all that start? Were you always, I'm gonna get some of the cookie cutter questions out of the way before we dive into
What's your
just
favorite color?
a round table.
Oh, good.
So how'd you get? Were you always a fan of did that always interest you, and it was that the motivation behind starting Paranormal Brew?
I mean, not always. I think when I was about 20, I don't know, like in 2012 is when I actually got into. I signed up with a paranormal group, but before that, I think 3 years before that, I was kind of just an enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I wanted nothing to do with it. I was totally afraid of all that shit. I didn't want nothing to do with it. But I had an experience in Gettysburg, and I was like, it wasn't that bad, and wanted to know more and wanted to learn, and started researching and got into it with the group. And then the groups tend to have a lot of politics involved, where it causes a lot of drama. And I was like, this isn't me. I don't want drama. I want to be able to do my own thing. So me and a couple other people broke off and started the brew. And it's my passion. I love it. And they kind of like, moved on. And then I had 2 other people join, and we were doing it for a little bit. And then they left. So now it's just me by myself. I love it.
Well, that sounds like some of the same path that Night Living Dreds, the audio podcast, took. So sometimes your host can't deal with it, and that's fine. We got a great group now. So 4 years strong. And what are some? I'm sure you are now. You a skeptic? Let's just get that out. I mean, where's your belief sit on that fence there?
I'm a healthy skeptic. When I investigate, I'm not investigating to find the ghost, if you want to label it that. I'm going in and I'm looking for what could be causing things. What is that? What is I'm investigating. I'm not just automatically thinking it's a ghost.
Yeah, exactly. I do the same thing. I've been to a few supposed haunted locations. One being Hillview Manor in PA, and yeah, air quotes.
Haunted.
And and I'll go in. Exactly. I like creepy places anyway, but I don't go into it like I'm going to find something, because that's kind of already setting yourself up to, have your mind play tricks on you. So that's a good way of putting it. A healthy skeptic. What's some of the last places that you've been? Have you caught? I mean, you say Gettysburg, but have you caught any real compelling? What you would say is compelling that may make you rethink? Being a skeptic? I
mean, I'm always going to be a skeptic, always, because I do I know it? Do I think it exists? Apparently, the spirits exist, or ghosts, whatever you want to call them. I do. I've had too many experiences. I've captured 1 photograph in my years of investigating of an apparition, and all the recordings I get. So I'm always going to be a skeptic, but I have had some like I said, I got that 1 picture of an apparition in Gettysburg. And all of my recordings, I mean, are mainly intelligent, not residual. So, and I'm also clear. I can hear sometimes. So like when we're in an investigation, I'll hear things and I catch it on the recorder. So it's validating for me that I'm hearing something, and then it's on the recorder as well.
Sure.
So I'm always, but I've had some things happen to me that, are crazy. I mean, at my aunt's house, I was staying there helping her, and I had my ankles grabbed and pulled, and for me, even being so deep into that, Bubba!
I thought that was Don.
I did too.
So
that your ankles were grabbed. I mean, don't they call it? I mean, isn't it more your poltergeist that will actually touch, move things, grab things like that? Isn't that more of
not always?
That?
No.
Not always, really. Okay, I'm learning something.
I want to chime in on that one with the poltergeist, but Taryn, as I go to Jersey, I'm going to look at Whippoorwill and stuff like that. But Otis just brought it up, and I'm interested in that. The hidden villages in New Jersey.
I just saw somebody, actually, I didn't know about it because I try to get out of New Jersey as much as I can. So I didn't know about that, but somebody had just brought to my attention that there was like these abandoned villages in Jersey that, but then I think somebody actually commented on the article that they don't let you in there anymore. But I don't know if that's the same village that they're talking about.
I did hear about the villages that like they don't let you in and shit like that no more. But Otis also brought up the poltergeist stuff. Now, poltergeist to me, when I do investigations, it delivers more with electricity to me, electronics and stuff like that. That would be a poltergeist in my eyes.
Right.
Does that make sense, Taryn? Like,
for me, what I've learned and what I believe. The theory behind a poltergeist is basically just a noisy spirit, and it's usually around an adolescent who's going through puberty or any types of changes like that, where it's kind of coming from that individual who doesn't even know that they're producing the, putting that much energy out there and making things happen,
Interesting. I love it. Yeah, that makes total sense. For sure.
Tom, have you ever been grabbed? Do you have any paranormal experiences you want to share with the class?
No, the only thing I've ever had was voices. It was a couple times. One of which was
They have medication for that.
Yeah, I know, right? No, one of which was actually on a live that I did over at the garden. Now it's possible that it could have been somebody in the distance saying "mom."
See, I fucking heard that though, dude.
Even Dom heard it. Like I was walking through, nobody was really around me, and I was doing like a tour of the garden over at Chamonix State Park, and I swear I heard Tom. I turned around like somebody call, and he messaged immediately. He was like, "I heard that shit too." I was like, I don't know, but I've been there before when I know nobody else was around. It was raining. I just happened to go there just to get a little Zen time in my happy place, knowing that nobody would be there. And I had my umbrella and I'm just standing off to the side. And I thought, well, nobody's here. Shit, let me try it. I just spoke out loud. I was speaking to the Logans, the people that used to own it. And I swear it sounded like from over on the left side of the garden, same place that we heard that voice on that live, actually. It just sounded like voices in the distance. I could hear the voices. I couldn't hear words. One was a deep voice. One was a more higher pitched voice. But I kept saying, I can't hear you. I hear your voice, but I can't hear what you're saying. Come closer, speak louder, do something. And I kept hearing it throughout the time I was there, but it just seemed like it was just too far away to hear actual words.
Interesting.
Well, you have to think too, Tom, that, if they weren't yelling, you would think if you were hearing people. Now, I wasn't there, so I don't know how the sound travels where you were at. However, if you're just hearing people talking and having conversation, you would think that you'd be able to see somebody off in the distance.
Right, but there was nobody there that day. It was raining. Yeah. There was literally no cars in the parking lot except mine. I mean, people do walk there usually that live in the area, but not when it's raining. I saw not a single soul the entire time I was there.
That voice was odd because I'm on there with Tom. We were in the chat and he was like, someone just called my name. I'm like, I heard that. It was like, hey, Tom. But it wasn't like distinct, like someone was like right next to him. It was so friggin' distant while there's nobody there because he went like, I believe you even went like this with the phone.
I turned around. There was nobody there.
There was nobody there, dude.
And you can see the path.
You can usually, for me anyway, you know the difference between a person, even when a person whispers, as opposed to when you get a voice there that's maybe underneath or over top that megahertz of, the human voice. I mean, it just sounds different.
That day when it was raining, it did sound different. Like it sounded like it was far away, but so far away that I shouldn't have been able to hear the voice.
Exactly. It's so clear.
Interesting. Yeah. Don, do you have any paranormal experiences? You ever been grabbed? Anything like that? Weird voices?
I used to live near a city cemetery back when I was, I guess, 10, 12 years old. I had an experience in that house where there was severe paranoia, like you feel like you were always being watched. We heard dishes fall in the kitchen and water running and footsteps. And when I say I lived near a cemetery, I meant like maybe like 25 foot away from the cemetery. So I mean, I've seen things that maybe I was asleep, maybe I was dreaming these things or whatever it might be. But back when I was a small child, I could see spirits outside my windows and stuff, and I swore they were spirits.
Dead people.
But that goes back to the psychological points of things.
Sure.
Could it be psychologically viable that your brain is playing tricks on you? No, seriously, because people do hear voices and see things.
I didn't mean to laugh.
Yeah, no.
I see dead people, and I just heard it in my voice. I see dead people. They're walking around. They don't know that they're dead.
I don't understand this.
That thought has to come from somewhere, right? I mean, if you aren't thinking about seeing a ghost or having these experiences, who knows? Maybe you were really seeing it, and that was just your way of your defense mechanism as opposed to being scared. You're like, oh, okay, I might be just thinking these things. I mean, the mind is a powerful thing. A woman can convince herself she's pregnant or think she's not pregnant. You know what I mean? Like your body actually goes through physical changes if you think you're pregnant, and it's all up here.
I need to start thinking I'm built.
Kisa
I never
says,
thought to use it that way.
Right, there you go. You gotta use it for good, not evil.
Let's read this. This is interesting.
Kisa said she seen an apparition of her father-in-law in the house. She said that I've never met him because he died a long time before her and her husband got married. She saw a tall guy in blue jeans and a white shirt with a pocket. And her husband said that his dad wore blue jeans and a white shirt with a pocket. I guess that was something that he was known to wear a lot of times. And so that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes loved ones will go to other people. I've never seen my father, and when I started dating, he's an ex now, but he saw my dad in our room. Like he just saw my dad, and he never met my dad. And he's like, yeah, he was, and I was kind of jealous. I was like, what the fuck?
Man,
I want to see my dad, right?
Yeah.
I see my dad all the time, but he's downstairs. So
right.
Well, see, I got a question for everyone here in a moment, but check out Steve's comment right there. This is, that's interesting right there. What he's saying as well.
Trying to be in the back, try being in the back of an ambulance, hearing the slight screams. And then wanting to leave, being you're the one of I can't read today. What is going on?
He's the one sitting.
Words are hard.
He's one of two sitting in transit, and then there's screaming. So he ain't screaming, and there's nobody in there, but being in the back of the ambulance. So he's having an experience. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong there. That's how I translated that one.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
Now I don't understand why you guys are skeptics, though, because everyone here loves paranormal. The subject's always being brought up. Everyone's always trying to debunk it. But, however, though, it seems that everyone has some kind of experience that they cannot fucking explain. Yet they do not want to admit that there's probably something more other than kind of put it down. And I've seen this a lot being a paranormal investigator myself.
Yeah.
Jackal Monkey, have you had experiences? And then give us your thoughts on what we've talked about so far.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah. My grandma's house is haunted to hell, man. Like my family says that my great uncle haunts it. There for a while, whenever my grandpa was sick with cancer, my family, me and my mom, we used to live there to so that my mom could take care of grandpa and everything. I ended up getting up in the middle of the night one night because I heard a lot of noise and shit going on. So I walk around and I go into the kitchen where I'm hearing a lot of banging. Bullshit you not. Opposite sides of the kitchen, there's different shelves on both sides. The counters, they're opening and closing. Bam, 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 bam.
Wow. And you saw that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Wow.
See, that's cool. To me, that kind of stuff is cool. I mean, and and a lot of times people, like, especially with private homes, when we have private homes that contact us, it makes you feel better thinking that it might be a loved one. So a lot of times people will be like, oh, we think it's my grandma. I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm not saying that,
Right. There's no fucking telling.
But that's one of the things that we get asked a lot is, I just want to make sure I'm not crazy, or is it my dad? Is it my grandma? We can never promise that we're going to get the answers that the homeowners want, but we try to help them out as much as we can,
Right. That's awesome. That's cool.
We can guess so much about what type of spirit it is. I mean, as far as I can tell, I mean, if you want to get technical about it, it could be demons. It could be demons mimicking the living, because the way I was taught, as far as paranormal things go, that you do have these familiar spirits that hang with you through life that can mimic you and know everything about you.
Tom is your spirit.
I am.
He's
So
a demon.
what if we are speaking to demons instead of our loved ones?
Yeah.
Might be a demon.
Yeah.
So when it comes to private homes, there's steps that you take to be able to identify certain things. We send the homeowners a 52 questionnaire, 52 questions, and it gets pretty personal, you know. And we don't share that information. We don't, you know, everything is confidential. But the homeowners have to be willing to be very open. If they're lying about anything, that's a red flag. You know, if there's
Right.
you know, that's how we you know, we break it apart. We totally ask certain questions that we know what to look for, because half the time the homeowners, and unfortunately, and this is one of the reasons why I started Paranormal Brew, because of the shows that had come out, not the early shows, but the more later shows. And I will say it, I'm just going to say Ghost Adventures, you know, Dead Files, you know, all these shows that come
Fucking
out,
Zach Bag.
everything is negative or a demon or it's trying to hurt the people in the house.
Right.
People are contacting you automatically thinking if there's something in their house that wants to hurt them.
Right.
You know? And it could be something that's not even, I mean, and like I said, we go in there and like you had said, Don, about, you know, is it psychological or am I just seeing things, the paranoia type of a thing? You know, we have gadgets that we use, and I'm not a fan of the equipment. However, when it's a private home, we will use EMF detectors because high EMF can cause paranoia in a home.
True.
You know,
And hallucination type things. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Taryn, do you when you talk about the gadgets though, like with people who you work with, because I work with a lot of people as well, and they're all into the gadget. I always bring this shit up. See, myself, I go back to basics. EVP is strong.
Yeah.
A Ouija board, for sure. I do blood rituals to do that, you know, as I go. I also like to scry. These are kind of lost
Blood rituals.
but yeah, you cut and you bleed on the board. I'm not going to get too far into it because that's my own personal thing, and I get spirits from it. That's how I work though. But I don't believe in the SLS. I don't believe in fucking orbs. That's probably, you know, bugs and shit going by. Dust, all the above. There's so much you can debunk there.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard to get a quote unquote orb. I mean, an actual orb, you know, and all that is a ball of energy. It's not anything. It's not a spirit. It's not, you know, where it comes from. You know, we don't know. I mean, everything's spirit.
Even if it's a droplet of moisture in the air that happened to be there when the picture was taken, if you zoom in on it with like Photoshop, it starts looking like what people call traditional real orbs.
Yeah, no, and it's not. I mean, it's that's why we don't even use it. And you know, back in the day, people were like, you know, thought that was like a spirit, you know, and it's not. It's just, you know, a true actual orb, if you want to call it that. I mean, it's just a ball of energy, you know, and it can be.
Taryn, you were talking about how high EMF readings can you know, induce paranoia and things like that. I've done the audio podcast that we do. I did a show, actually maybe a couple, asking the simple question: are ghosts real? And I went and I was looking into some scientific, you know, basis on what could be happening. And the feelings, you know, people say, oh, I walk in the room, I feel like I'm being watched. And there was a case, it was a college professor, I want to say it was out in California, and they had those big industrial fans that would actually, it would have like a, you know, type sound to it. And people would go into this room, professors would go into this room and feel like they're being watched. It was that simple low frequency that was taking and causing that sense of dread, a sense that I'm being watched, you know, that paranoia type deal. So there are, you know, there is some science out there to show that, okay, what you're feeling is not the presence of, you know, a spirit. It could be very, you know, a simple reason, really. Once they took that fan out, nobody was getting those feelings anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, something is I mean, we had a case one time where, you know, the activity was focused in the one bedroom around you know, the child, and you know, she had a clock radio. You know, an EMF, a normal EMF, you want it under 0.2. You know, I mean, the EMF reading from this little digital clock radio was like a 50, and I think she's like laying her head next to this every single night, you know, and just getting. I mean, even her air conditioner, her TV, everything in that room had such high. You know, and then at that point, you know, you tell homeowners like, look, you know, you got to get an electrician in here. The wiring, this and that. I mean, because that can also cause people to feel sick.
And that's what I was talking about with the poltergeist.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question on here that I could catch heat for? Tom, go ahead. But I will catch heat for this. This has nothing to do with networks and stuff like that. But this is something that's been bothering me with the paranormal world for a long time. Tom, ask this real quick.
Not just a point. Like Otis was talking about the fan, how it made that sound, that low pitched sound. And when you think about it, sound is really just vibration, which is pretty much the same thing that electromagnetic energy is. It's a vibration. Yes. So it can all cause the same thing. You know what I mean? Like a constant sound, a constant vibration of electromagnetic field. Like it'll all cause the same thing, just at different levels.
Right.
And then God forbid you be in one of the, what do they call them? The fear cage, where like the whole entire room is surrounded by like high EMF electrical wires and stuff like that. That's even worse.
Dude, I got voices on the EVP doing ghost hunts one day, and then I had to retract my steps back in a fucking house one night, and then I realized I'm right next to a power line. So maybe I was getting shit right through it. I had to debunk the entire fucking thing.
Frequencies can cross.
This has nothing to do with Scurryface. This has nothing to do with Psycho Bunny and shit like that. This is me coming as a question from a ghost hunter. It has something to do with religion. When everyone says they go to a better place, and then like we know that they're here in spirit, then why is it even questioned about there being the possibility of ghosts? Like everyone pushes their loved ones off to a better place, right? Why is a ghost even questioned?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
Yeah, that makes stillness, Taryn.
I think the difference is the ones who believe in the ghosts or in the ghost type entities will say that they went to a better place, but the people who don't believe in it say at least they're not suffering anymore, and leave it at that. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I guess I'm just trying to figure that one out myself.
Well, that and I get what I think I get what you're saying, man. Like I think that a lot of people don't want to like.
Can you guys? I'm sorry. Can you guys hear that? Should I can shut my windows.
No, you're fine. Shit,
okay.
You're good.
Yeah, like
somebody's weed whacking or something, and it's like wow.
She's got a whacker outside her window.
Like some people just don't want to accept the fact that maybe their loved ones or someone that they cared about are trapped.
Yeah, well, that's how some people do look at it. They look at it that, but that's not the case. I mean, spirit energy. The theory behind that is that human spirits can come and go as they please. They can come and say hey to you, and they can go back to wherever. It's hard for people because there's never going to be an actual like dead set 1,000%, 100% truth that spirits exist, or you know what I mean. I have more evidence that they do exist that they don't. However, unless a ghost sits down next to me right now and says, "Hey, what's up?" I'm from the other side. Like how are we ever going to really 100% know?
Exactly.
I mean, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I do. I see it.
Good.
Here it is. I can explain that. What you're asking. Most people believe that the spirit leaves the body and goes straight to either heaven, hell, or purgatory, which is a in-between place of heaven and hell. They're not released out in
kind of like the taint of the universe.
The in-between.
They're just released back to where they go to, where they belong. So, and me being I'm a skeptic. I am kind of a skeptic, but I do believe, something's going on here. It was just like anything. Okay, let's go back to the demons. The demons can tell you anything to get you to believe.
Damn it, I don't have a hat.
They can be nice. They can be evil.
Absolutely.
They can be persuasive.
That's true. I mean, that's what I mean. There are some people that I know that have and I'll call it a gift, but it's called discernment, where they can, if we're looking at the same, let's just say, to explain it, we're looking at a spirit. You may see a spirit, and Jack may see this evil demon, and say, and this, you're seeing the spirit, and the spirit saying, "Come hang out with me, come talk to me." And Jack says, "No, don't. That's not." There are some people that actually can discern between the two, which is an awesome ability to have, because it keeps you out of trouble. Which is the people that don't have that. You have to kind of rely on, your spidey senses, your feelings, and then also, your intuition and whatever's going on there to try to, if you feel like you're in a bad situation, get the hell out. You don't want to mess with it.
I agree with you, and I see Steve's point right there, and that's exactly how I'd explain it. Like I'm hearing Taryn, I hear everything that's going on, and I love the way this is happening. But the way Steve just said it, I mean, right down to the point, it is what it is. I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's like you're gonna love it or not. Thank you, brother.
and then we do have people that come from a very high Catholic religious background. They tend to always say, that they believe. I apologize. I don't know who said it about going either on heaven, hell. There's a purgatory. But
that's what I was saying.
But those people also believe that Jesus rose from the dead. So if that's possible, I mean, he was a human. He's rising from. He's a human spirit. It's, if they believe all that, then why is it so hard for those people to believe that there's, their loved ones can come?
It's like a contradiction.
Exactly, Taryn.
It is. Yeah. No. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Tyler is in the house.
Tyler is here.
Yeah,
Welcome,
Tyler.
Tyler. I want to go back to a point that was made a couple times.
Everybody have a mask or a hat on. I feel left out.
You got to get a cowboy, and I'll send you one.
Wait, I can go get a hat. I can go get a hat.
Go get a hat. Go get a hat. Let's bring Cisco with a hat.
All right.
We're gonna cowboy hat this bitch. I love it.
My goodness. So I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes I think people they want to believe in the paranormal and that they can actually have communication with a deceased loved one, because how cool would that be? You lose your mom, your dad, something like that. And you're able to communicate with them in some form. I mean, that's cool. And I think that kind of propels people to believe in that. They want to believe. They're like the Fox Mulder of, paranormal. They want to believe in this, although they're skeptics at the same time. I mean, that's where I was going with that.
I believe in it. And then I'm not going to say this for everyone, but somebody gets their heart broke. Somebody's loved one dies. They're going to find a psychic or something, or get a tarot reading, shit like that. Are they okay? Or what's next in the future for me? There's got to be something more to this, right? Because everyone believes in something, and then they all can't be liars, right?
I mean, yeah, I see your point. Absolutely. I'm kind of, I got to see it to believe it. That's the kind of skeptic I am. If I experience something, she got a hat. There she goes. She just zoomed right by the damn.
There's
Sorry, I wanted to shut my door because I can't hear.
Oh, there we go. Now we're all hatted up.
Damn it, your hat looks way cooler.
I want to bring this up to Taryn. All right, here's the thing. I think that people sometimes want to believe in the paranormal because the idea of being able to communicate with a past loved one is so intriguing, enticing. So therefore, they kind of conform to that belief system, even though there may not be, as you stated, Taryn. I mean, nobody's going to know 100% for sure if any of this is real or not.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like I said in the beginning, even, I used to want nothing to do with anything like that. I would, my house, I believe my house had something in it growing up. I would sleep with my light on, music on, my back, so I didn't have to hear, see nothing. I was scared shitless of it. But once my dad passed away, I was like, this can't be it. You know, it opens up when you lose somebody. Half of the time, that's what opens up where you're like, okay, you know,
exactly right.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was getting at, Taryn. You hit it right on the head right there.
Wait a minute. What am I doing? This is Scurryface, right? There's a lot of clowns here.
Wait,
why am I wearing a hat?
Yeah, I don't have a clown hat.
Don't put nothing clown on.
I'm keeping the hat on.
There we go.
That's fine.
There we go.
I think the big problem is that you've got these great big paranormal investigators under these television shows and things, and I'm gonna not throw out names, but some have been caught stretching things. You know what I'm saying? Like manipulating things.
Sure.
And I think that the original authentic paranormal investigators get a bad rap
Absolutely
for what these people do. And people look at that and say, oh, the ghost's not real. You know, the ghosts, they don't exist, because we've seen so much manipulation in the field of investigation that it gives the authentic people a really, really bad name.
Sure.
Yeah, and that is the problem. I mean, it's TV, so it's entertainment, and they have to do things. I mean, if they did a show about what we actually do, nobody would watch it.
It would be boring as shit. People don't understand how boring that is.
If I go in this house, sorry, Otis, I'm just getting heating right now because I love this subject and I know how I feel about this. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. I mean, like when Ghost Hunters came out, they probably were the closest thing to being legit. Like,
easily.
And people would say to me, I don't like watching that show. They never find anything.
Right.
They do, but you just have to. But you don't always walk into a location, even if it is. Let's take Penhurst for example. Penhurst is supposed to be very haunted, right? You're not always going to walk into Penhurst and have an experience or get a have this stuff happen. Right. So for me, that was the thing that I loved about them the most, is that, you know, I could watch 3 or 4 shows and they wouldn't get anything, and then that 5th show they would get something, and it's like, wow, that was awesome. For me,
like when they came to Eastern State Penitentiary and they got that thing that came at the camera and ran away.
Yeah.
Taryn, I practice in the house across the street. It may take me a month or 2 to get a squeak in a fucking wall to debunk that.
Right. But that was the difference between Ghost Hunters, and maybe I'm just biased because I liked it, was that they were there not to find ghosts, but to debunk what people thought were ghosts, as opposed to say, I don't know, Zach Baggins, who gets possessed every episode about 5 minutes into it, and it lasts for half an hour.
I know. Like your hair and curse on a ghost when you're a ghost hunter, guys. Do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think it was Don, you were saying about how, I mean, it's made the field very gimmicky. The new shows has made it very gimmicky, first of all.
Yes, very gimmicky.
And it takes away from, you know, the people that have really been, I mean, you look at Holzer, you know, Hans, like all these people that have done the PhDs that have done research in this field and everything. It just like takes, I mean, like when people find out that I'm a paranormal investigator, they think it's cool, but then they're like, oh, so you're a Ghostbuster. No.
Well, do I have a proton pack on my back?
Calvin's got comments. Steve's got more comments. I want to say that, but I'll tell you what, Taryn, I want to say something here, and this is more on the subject of what we do. You know whose show I would love to have if there was a fucking show to have a show? Fucking Kenny Biddle.
He's been on my show. He's been on my show a lot.
I know. He can't be on our show though because we're on at the same time.
I'm saying if he had his own TV show. He's trying to fucking that guy is doing everything he can he wants to believe in this shit, and he's doing everything to debunk it. And he's got respect from the ghost hunters who do this shit every day, who could find a ghost in 5 minutes, and they can't show him 2 minutes of an investigation that a ghost exists. You know what I'm saying?
He wants to have an experience. He wants to, you know.
He started off as an investigator.
He deserves it. He deserves to have a show and shit like that.
He does a lot. He does his homework, and that's. I mean, I go to Kenny with things when I can't make sense of it or I'm not sure. I'll go to him because I'm not very techie or anything like that. So I'll go to him and I'll say, look, somebody sent me this. What do you think about it? And he'll give me, if there's a shadow of a doubt of anything,
Right.
you know what I mean? You have to, we always say when in doubt, throw it out. However, you do have to go back to these things because it depends on what the person's coming to. If they say, oh, I think this is my dad. You have to kind of be eloquent with how you go back to them to, say, listen, for an example, I had a friend, her son was 18, dropped dead of his heart, dropped dead on the basketball court. All right. Wow. They had a vigil for him a couple months later. She sent me a video. She said, I think this was him. He was there. It looked, and what it actually was there was a light and there were balloons. So it was a reflection off of one of the balloons that was like bouncing around.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have to keep my integrity, and I, want people to be able to feel that they can come to me and ask me these types of questions. However, I had to be delicate with how I told her, the information. So I said, listen, I have no doubt that your son, he was there. I mean, everybody that loved him was there. So that just all of your energy together, I'm sure you did feel him there, but you don't need a video of something bouncing around to prove that to you. You felt him there. And I said, so this is what this actually was, but that does not take away the feeling that you had while you were there, that you felt him in.
It's crazy. Taryn, this is something I probably shouldn't say again, but this is how paranormal comes to hit. All right. And I'll just be real with people. I'm sure everyone's going through it. I had a friend recently who her new boyfriend died and shit like that. She does not believe in any kind of fucking paranormal shit like that. Yet she came to me and said, you know what? I was on one of your shows one day where you had a psychic on. So she hit up one of our dead friends who got shot and shit like that. And then she just hit me up again the other day. She goes, can you get a hold of a psychic for me to let me know that this guy is on the other side? And I'm like, but you don't believe, right? And she goes, this will make me feel better. And I'm like, all right, so there's got to be some kind of standpoint that you do believe in some kind of spiritual energy, right? I mean, this is where you're not going to find.
If she's looking for, you have to, in order for that to work, because it's all, and I hate using, I don't know how else to explain it, but it's energy, So if you're going to a medium to try to connect with a loved one, you can't go in there thinking that it's not going to happen, because it can't happen, or else it's not going to happen, because you're going to be totally blocked off. You're not going to be open to it, and the medium that's trying to connect with your loved ones does try to read you, and if you're not believing it, it's just not going to happen.
So if they're coming from the other side, the mediums, right? If they're coming from the other side with an answer, are they crazy or do they know something?
So,
you know what I know?
Why you? What is
we got a minute and a half left.
Sorry.
I've been watching that.
My bad.
One really quick,
I
ultra
love
quick
the subject. My
point.
No, it is, and this is one of those subjects where you kind of need a couple good hours to take
but I do have a quick answer for
sure.
Tom.
Go ahead.
If it's true spirit coming through, they will find a way to make it so that that's something that only you and that person would know.
Truly.
To make it to where it would be validated somehow, to be like, okay, that's got to be them, because nobody else would know that.
Right.
It's not on social media. It's not here. It's not. It was something personal between me and that person, and that is how you would know.
Taryn, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This has been really fun. Tell us again, what do you got coming up on Paranormal Brew in the future? You got some guests coming on? What's going on? Yeah,
I'm booked. I'm booked every Wednesday up until June 16th, I believe. And I do have a couple of people coming in here and there, on a Monday or a Tuesday. And but this week coming up, I have an author, and he has a store in Gettysburg. It's called Ghost of Gettysburg. and he's written about 10 books and maybe more probably. And
Dom
he's
has
coming.
2 books.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom has 2 books. Yeah.
Tom has 2 books.
So and
Dom
also Phenomenology in Gettysburg. That's coming up in June.
Sweet.
And Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I know it's a lot of Gettysburg, but that's where they just so happen to be.
Yeah. No,
we're-
it sounds like really some really fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, and we're doing a which will be brought. Well, I'll go live with it, but we're going to be doing May 22nd. Having a bunch of people come, and we're going to be running around in the Pine Barrens and looking
Nice.
for Bigfoot, Jersey Devil, and spirits. But I don't believe in
All
Bigfoot
right.
or the Jersey Devil, but look for those stuff.
All right. Well, and then of course, Dom and Tom's World BB3 TV, Psycho Bunny Death Call, and of course, Scurryface here on Facebook. Go, make sure you go over there, follow all the pages, get over there to Paranormal Brew. Follow that page so you can get all the updates and what's going on, alerts, notifications for new shows. And of course, Nightmare Ninja Studio. What the?
Aw.
I gotta say,
was not
I love Don's whole setup over there. I mean, he just looks so cool sitting there. Like it's all black in the background. He's got the Jason mask, you know.
Well, normally you just see his fan.
I love
Yeah.
it. It's awesome.
This is my fan.
I love you all, Kisa. Thank you, all of everyone to be
Yes,
here.
everybody who stopped in the chats. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes,
Make
thanks.
my chiller juice.
Appreciated.
Oh yes, chiller juice. Right.
Juice.
All right. With that, another episode for Scurryface in the books. Taryn, stay on the call
Absolutely.
here. We'll be back right after.
Indeed.
Well, we'll be back next week, not right after this. Next week. Yeah.